Alright guys, Jackzer here. Today I'm going to be showing you a tip that made a huge difference for me months ago when it came to iRacing and sim racing in general. This can be used in any simulator, any pedals from Logitech's up to active pedals by Simcube. There is literally, you can do this anywhere. This is a quick fix. Disclaimer, this is like a quick fix. This is like a setting change. This could make your braking worse or it could make it better. The bonus is it's actually very easy to find out what's going on because either you crash into a wall or you go into a corner later and faster and you peak out the pressure a lot better than you were before. So this solution is for people who struggle on their brakes to, let's say, hit high peaks. Let's say you've adjusted your pedals, you've done the elastomers, the springs, you like how your pedal feels, but you don't feel like you're sharp enough on the brakes. You don't feel like the car's on edge when it's, braking in a straight line. Again, now that guys, this is a very, very simple tip, but it's something I've done to kind of suddenly change the game for me. Like I was I was racing Porsche Cups at Suzuka a while ago, and I remember I was braking, I just didn't feel like I was braking hard enough, even though I was telling my leg, it's just brake harder, brake harder, brake harder. So instead of telling myself to physically brake harder, I just made my pedals a little bit more sensitive. Now, I made a video about this a long time ago, dotted in another video, but it's just worth doing because, if it helped me the way it did, maybe it could help someone else. And again, this is a simple tip. So if you see here is my threshold realistically actually is about here. It's a little bit broken, but I know how to get to the peaks that I want to do just by feel and by muscle memory. So it's kind of a bit wiggly. I'm going to probably test out springs soon, see if that can give me a bit more consistency. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you. So I'm going to open up my pedal software. In this case, I use the Simagic P1000s. Excellent pedal set, really, really happy with them. And what we're going to do is we're going to go to our pedals and then we're going to go to calibrate. Now, go to calibrate your pedals as normal, but most case you're going to have something like force, an actual slider you can change. And if you can't do that, I'm going to show you a second way as well. So for example, let's just throw this up at, let's say 80, which isn't that bad at all, but let's just see what we can do with it. So what we're going to notice with 80, or let's say a poorly adjusted kind of force for your brake pedal, Heusenfeld has its own setting, Fanatec has its own setting. You're going to find that it's going to be a lot more difficult to get your peak and takes a little bit longer, or at least that's what I found it anyway. So here it's just, I could press into it, but I wouldn't be that accurate up at these heights. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop open my software again, and I'm going to reduce this down to, let's say, 65. So let's reduce it down to 65, come back, attack the corner, and just see how it feels. It's going to feel like the car is braking a lot harder. And it's a very quick way and silly way, and it is a cheap way to get extra performance out of your pedals. So we were a bit better at stopping there. I obviously have no muscle memory for this particular setup, but I did get a little bit closer to the corner. So obviously once I get back to my native force, I should make the corner. If not, I'm going to look like an idiot. Right, so let's lower this down to 48, for example. I was at 50. I'm going to put it on something that's a little bit more spicier for me. So you're going to see my peaks are going to be real high, and if I lock up, I'm going to have to take off immediately, which means I can get to my peak faster, and yeah. So the car just stops a lot better, and I'm not trying that different because I'm going between different brakes. I'm just doing what my mind is telling me. Hit the 100-meter board, start braking. So obviously I could adjust to those other force settings, but if you're struggling to hit those peaks with your brakes and you want your brakes to be stronger, more effective, whatever you want to say, make them more sensitive and see how much you can push the sensitivity of your brakes, because it could be something that could be useful to you. I know for me, it really helped me out. So yeah, very simple tip, guys. But hopefully if it could just help like 1-2 people out there, that'd be real nice, at least to find what your force is. So it's not all about adjusting the hardware. Once you've the hardware done, once you've the calibration done, then really look at the force you're putting into your pedal to see if you can get it to a place where it really suits you. And ideally, I like a pedal that's kind of light, so I can get up to peak real easy. There's a really well-defined threshold where it gets like progressively harder in my brake pedal. And also, usually I like to have it quite sensitive, which gives me quite a brutal pedal, but I'm really, really happy with that. If I was to push it too much just for fun, let me show you here. So let me turn it down to something like 30 and see if I can put up with it. Now, that's going to be super aggressive, but like my threshold is actually at the 100 points. So, I could probably try to accommodate for this, but I'm going to have to treat the brake pedal like it's a bomb. But hey, let's give it a crack. So this is what happens when you go too far with it. It's very obvious where it's not good, but the thing I like about this is it's very obvious where you should be. No. Yeah, straight lockup. We'll give it one more go. We'll see what happens. Now that I know I just gotta barely press that pedal. So yeah, you know, it's not a tip. It's not a hack. It really is just telling you, hey, take a look at this setting because it could be beneficial for you. If I can get used to it, it's pretty lethal. It'll stop the car quick, but it's not worth it in the long term for consistency for me. So really 48% in this car. I really, really like that. That works super for me. It works well with the current way I have my pedal setup. It's going to be completely different for you. If you want the exact same pedal set I have, or if you have them, I use 4 black elastomers, 2 grays, 1 red, and 1 blue. And I use 50%. So if you want to feel the exact same brake I use, fire away. If you enjoyed the video and it helped you, don't forget to drop a like and leave a comment. Let me know what you think about this. You know, I know it's not a hack. It's more so just, you know, check out your settings. Don't think just hardware. Don't think just pressure. There is one setting that's very easy to overlook, and that's force. May the force be with you.